Yo, we're not starting for, excuse me. We're not starting for another 16 minutes, but I'm just sitting here and talking in the comments anyway. Might as well just go on and wait. How's everyone doing? Let me just send the invite link to Toast and Prop Beaver here, so whenever they're ready, they can join the room. Okay. What's up? What's up? Yeah, freaking, I don't know if any of you guys bet the NBA last night. Spurs Knicks under. Now, I knew there was some risk involved because the Spurs have been running a faster pace, but how are the Spurs going to score 74 points on the Knicks in the first half? A top 5 defense against a bottom 5 offense. I feel that perfectly encapsulates how betting the NBA has been recently. Holy shit, man. It's frustrating. Well, actually, to be honest, it hasn't been that frustrating because everyone's been really cool about it. It seems like everyone's getting hit in the NBA right now, so no one's really getting mad. Everyone's like, dude, this is crazy. That makes it easier. But some of these results, there's no mathematical reasoning why it would have ended like that. Nah, Mo Lewis, no. The value is not on the Angels today. I was just trying to, that's funny. I was just trying to portray that when you're betting dogs, you're going in knowing that they're high-risk bets. That's all. That's all I was doing there. That's funny shit, man. Well, to be honest, I think Raul. So I grew up. I live in Jersey, born and raised in Monmouth County, and so this is a Yankees territory. Majority of my good friends are Yankees fans, and when I was a kid, the Yankees went through that phase where there was the '90s Yankees that were cool, and then the Yankees went through that phase where they just bought everybody. Now there's 7 or 8 teams that do that. So there's really no reason to hate the Yankees anymore. And to be honest, I don't really hate the Yankees like that. When it comes down to it, I usually root for the Yankees I support New York over other cities. But I would never be a Yankees fan, no. To be honest, around here, Yankees fans typically are the more casual baseball fans. And like if you meet a Mets fan, you usually meet like a baseball fan. When there's a lot of Yankee fans around here that like, they won't even watch if the Yankees are like 500. The Yankees are in like the wild card race and not in first place. They're not even watching. So there's a lot of casual Yankee fans around here. Right. They basically just bought the Oakland Athletics. Who are your 3 best players? Sure. Yeah. Johnny Damon. Sure. Oh, Johnny Damon went to Boston. Bad example. Giambi. How's everyone's baseball? Dude, I actually have started baseball season off okay. On the first day, I hit some bets. Took some L's too, but I finished. I made a few dollars on opening day. And then yesterday, I think my bets did well too. The thing is, I didn't post them on the site. And when I don't post them on the site, I don't really track it like that. Let me check. I had the Astros that obviously lost. I had the Rays, though. I had the Pirates, but I didn't bet that one. I had Seattle. I had Cleveland. No, I didn't bet Seattle, but I took Seattle on the show. I had the Padres. That's an L. I had Dodgers -1.5. So baseball, I'm not making a bunch of money or anything, but my picks have been all right so far, which is cool. Dude, to be honest, this weekend of college basketball, I think I went 2-2 both days. So it's been all right. But last weekend, specifically that round of 32. Jesus, man. Shit is so hard. That was funny yesterday. I don't know if you guys watched the show yesterday. So I was like, guys, I didn't have a chance to handicap any MLB, so I'm going to go based off what these two guys say. First game, they both took Toronto. I was like, nah, I'm taking Tampa. Couldn't even make it one game without breaking from the plan. It's so funny. I didn't even notice it either. Someone pointed it out in the comments. I need a W ticket, G Wooski says. Don't we all, bro? We're all searching for W tickets, man. That's why we're here. I am doing an NBA show today at 3 p.m. and I got Crispy Cap'n to come on. So I have a guest. Dude, especially the NBA right now is tough because like a lot of the numbers that I've been winning bets with this year, you're looking at them and you're like, does that even mean anything anymore? It's like you're trying to handicap what effort you're going to see from the teams rather than the matchups, which I personally, that gets out of my strength. I'm good with the numbers. I'm good at isolating matchups, which is I like middle of the season is when I eat. But then now we're at the spot where it's like, now we're trying to guess which team, like what kind of motivation. It's tough. At least it's a lot harder for me. And you know what? I was talking to a lot of people the last couple of days, and it seems like everyone's, like I was saying before, everyone's getting rocked in the NBA. Hard overcomes matchups in March. Yeah, but show me a spreadsheet or some kind of metrics that measures heart, because if you got, is there a website? Because I don't have that included in my model. Hell yeah. This is my national champ, man. My bracket is not doing well. But if the Boilermakers win this, I am fine. I got a Boilermakers to win the Natty ticket. If Purdue wins this, I'm sitting pretty with March Madness. Toast is on. Toast Cam. Good morning, sir.
Mic check.
I can hear you.
Awfully hot coffee pot.
It's Prop Beaver's call sign. The question is, are you going for, there's a couple sweeps on the board. Obviously, I like Cleveland. I like Tanner Bybee, but like, Toast, weren't you the one that says you don't buy into that, like, facing the sweep shit?
100% do not, in any way, shape, or form. That said, I don't know if I'm going to go back to Cleveland today. I think I might take my 2 wins in this series and just get out while I'm
That's
alive.
what I'm thinking. Cleveland. Well, I didn't bet him. I didn't bet him on opening day. I did bet him yesterday.
So the only one right now that I'm like, yeah, I have so many favorites. So we'll see what ends up happening. I really like my sides. So like when I woke up this morning, I relooked at them just to make sure that I wasn't missing something last night. And there's no way I could get to the dogs. So we'll see where I'm at.
My picks yesterday were pretty much all favorites. The 5 I liked were all favorites. And I think, did I go 3-1? We just looked at it and I forgot already. Cleveland, yes. I bailed on Seattle. Should have took it. Astros, no. That's 1-1. Tampa, yes. Game am I missing? Padres, no. And so I went 3-2 because I lost Padres, but I won Dodgers -1.5. So I went 3-2 yesterday.
I mean, I went 5-5. But I had like an extra. I had like a few of those 5 were Seattle, but one of them was a loss too. I lost the first 5, but I double bet. I bet Seattle at 160 and 140. But my only losses were Toronto, I was just dead wrong about Chris Bassett. But even then,
I was shocked at your guys' confidence in Bassett on the road.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, if Bo Bichette makes the double play, it's a completely different. It's a completely different ball game. It is what it is. The Colorado pick, it was dead. Phillies up 2 within the 8th. Philly loses 9-3. Whatever.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And then the over in the Yankees game, 7-1, and there was probably 15 runners left on base by each team. The fact that game didn't go over or just push at 9 is just absolutely insane. So after I looked at my day, I was like, dude, you were on the money with everything except for like 1 or 2 things. So nothing to be sad about. Nothing to be sad about here.
Good shit. Someone's asking, will Toast fade Max Fried today? I don't know, but I'm assuming yes, because Toast is a believer in the Braves are very often overpriced.
Yeah, definitely not one of my favorite plays on the board, but I'm going to end up taking a stab with the Phillies. I didn't bet it last night. Wanted to see where it was going to be end up today, but yeah. Yeah. The only person that the Phillies aren't going to have today in their bullpen is Alvarado. Huffman, Dominguez, Soto, Ortiz, Marte, all those guys should be available. Atlanta used their top 4 guys, 3 guys.
Yeah, but they
yesterday.
can go. This is the first time they used them, right?
Oh yeah, they'll still be available. I'm just saying that I'll take my chances there. It's a little bit different when they're fresh.
I can't even contribute much to the show. I just have nothing to go by. Like I talked to Nick today. He's building those spreadsheets, starting them today, but but they're no good until I have like 14 days of data in them. They do me no good until I have data to populate those cells. So I have all these cool tools, all these cool spreadsheets. Can't wait to make some videos and give some picks out. But I'm useless. I'm a data guy, and I have no fucking data right now.
I know everybody's asking me for props and stuff and hit parlays and stuff. I'm like, I've sent out a few. I'm like, maybe like down just a little bit, but I'm like, I just got to see a couple more things rolling. Like, I'm like a gut type of guy when it comes to that stuff.
And well, in baseball especially, this applies to basketball too, but in baseball, you're going to have teams that are red hot against lefties, and then next month they're going to be ice cold. And you got to like keep track of that. So we have no idea how these teams are going to come out of the gate. We're talking about the Brewers right now. This is just the game we have queued up. Brewers Mets. There were times where the Brewers were a top 5 lineup last year, and then there was times where they were a bottom 5. A lot of times where they were a bottom 5 lineup. So try. Right. Here you go, Prop Beaver. Prop Beaver just said something insightful, but you guys couldn't hear it. Now you can. Now you can.
Yeah. What is it? Big slate today, but I was able to find a good amount of bets, so excited about that.
You should repeat what you said about the Brewers for the fans.
Oh, basically, I was going to say the Brewers last year when they began the season, they were sucking against left-handed pitchers. You could take the strikeout totals, overs against them. It was free money. But somewhere near like the mid part of the season, they really started to hit lefties well. And I think they finished in the top half of the league against lefties. I know this season when I was making the hitter charts, they do project to be a better lineup against lefties than righties this season. I will definitely be looking back to them against lefties more so than righties. So yeah. In the first game here though, spoiler alert, I do like the Mets.
I like the Mets too.
Yeah.
I sent out the Mets.
I just sent out a poll. Mets taking 2 L's in a row. Let's see how they vote.
I sent them out last night. I think I'll talk about it when we get there. All right,
Yeah.
Is your little special tools there, Beaver, Google Docs or no?
Yeah, and I could share those with you, no problem. Actually, I could share them with whoever, no problem, if they would like access to that.
Make sure you put them
Yeah.
on as viewers, not editors, because dude, there's a lot of people watching, and you can't. They'll clog your shit right up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or I could edit it and not.
No,
know
I'm
what
just
I'm
telling
doing.
you from experience. I tried to like hook people up with spreadsheets before, and then you have 20 people in there on your spreadsheets, and then the shit won't load and doesn't work properly. So
Yeah,
tell
that's
people to
weird for
DM
me.
you if they want to check it out.
Yeah, I just sent it to you, Toast. I put
Thank
you
you.
as a viewer.
Or you could put it if you really want to hook people up. You
I
can,
wouldn't trust me either because if I did something, I wouldn't be able to fix it.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that.
if you really want to hook people up, you could put it on some kind of HTML so they could just like view it on their in their browser. But
Yeah, I mean, once I finished all 30 teams last night. I'm just trying to do the same thing pretty much before the pitchers, and then yeah, I'll freely disperse that. I also want to do the benches too because injuries are already starting up. Like Royce Lewis already out of the Twins lineup, so.
Toast,
I know, man.
Did you see the hat?
Like, not that I'm like some big Royce Lewis supporter, but he's one of the guys that you want to see do well, or at least play a season. I just want to see a full season. I guess that's
From a statistical standpoint, when he's on the field, he's been the Twins' best player
Fantastic,
the last 3 years. So
only problem is that's only been 4 weeks total.
I know. Yeah.
Toast,
It
did you see the
sucks.
hat?
No, I can't see. It's blurry. You should get a new camera.
It's Purdue. Boilermaker up.
Did they play last night or something?
Oh, they did.
Oh,
And they won. And they
Oh,
covered.
so
Purdue's
he
winning.
probably played a really dog shit team.
probably.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Surprise Prop Beaver knows who they played. Collegiate sports don't exist for Prop Beaver.
Well, yeah, I mean, I made the bracket. We got into the MLB swing, and then I was like, who'd I pick to win again? Creighton, and I checked, and I was like, all right, who gives a shit again? Like, it never mattered. It still doesn't matter. Congrats to those who have UConn. Congrats.
I still have my champion alive. That's the only thing I'm holding on to. I need Purdue to win the Natty, and then doesn't matter how shitty that first weekend was. Everything's okay because I win my Purdue to win the championship ticket.
My picks early because I would have so picked Duke yesterday. The injury sucked to Shed, but yeah,
45 seconds till we're starting. 15 games. Our first full MLB slate of the year. I have no bets down. I'm going off of what these guys are going to say, but for real this time.
Are you actually gonna? You fuck?
I couldn't help it. I didn't. Sometimes I don't like what you say, and
and I have to repent. Toast, did you see Cutter Crawford's numbers against the Mariners lineup?
Trying to get guests on the weekends is tough, by the way.
Not everybody lives, eat, breathes baseball like us two do. You know, it's hard.
I don't know if you watched our podcast or whatnot. I'm very, very.
Can I still post that, or is it too late?
Yeah, you could.
All right,
absolutely.
Cool. So we are at 12:59. Let's just, because I told everyone 1 o'clock. Let's wait till it's 1 o'clock. All right.
I saw your message and I didn't respond. I'm sorry, Sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot about it. It was a busy couple days, but I'll still post it 100%. So anyway, we're starting. We got 15 games to get through, so we probably should get to it. First is Brewers at Mets, and this one actually starts at 40 minutes. So let's get this one going. So we got the Brewers at plus 110. Looks like the Mets are laying minus 130 juice. Running the poll. All right. You guys both alluded to you have the Mets in this one, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Prop, you want to go first?
Yeah, so on the Brewers side, in terms of pitching, this is going to be the second start of DL Hall's career. The first one was pretty disastrous, 3.2 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks against the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going to cut him some slack, though, because any lefty at Tampa, you're probably going to get smashed. That lineup's really good. So there's not really much to take away from there. In terms of his career, he's a really good reliever. He's been solid, but as we saw with AJ Puck yesterday, that's just a completely different ball game. You could be a really good reliever, and when you make a start, you get absolutely shelled. So we don't really know exactly how he's going to come out here. One positive I will say for Hole is that he is well stretched out through 76 and 83 pitches his last 2 spring training starts, so that's good. And while the Mets lineup has been worse versus lefties than right-handed pitching for the last 3 seasons, if you look at the current one, it's actually not quite as weak. There's only really 2 weak links in terms of WRC plus against lefties this year. I think we're going to see some improvement in that area. On the other side, we got Severino. Last time he faced Milwaukee, he was decent, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, not too bad. But that was last year, and Severino was brutal last year. Very much an outlier in what has been a really good career for him. And if early spring returns mean anything, he may be due for a bounce back because he dominated. 1.29 ERA, 176 opposing batting average in spring. And if we look at his last 3 seasons, where has he been better? Day, against righties, and at home. The Milwaukee Brewers have 6 righties in their lineup today, and if you look at his last 6 home day starts, he has a 1.62 ERA, a 0.87 whip, and a 2.48 WOBA. That's flat out elite. On top of that, this Brewers lineup is projected to be far less effective against righties than lefties. The average WRC plus of the lineup against lefties over the last 3 years is 108. The average WRC plus of the lineup against righties over the last 3 seasons is 83. That is heinous. Add in the Brewers using some of their high leverage arms yesterday while the Mets are rested. Mets coming off that embarrassing 1-hit performance in their home opener. I like the value on a bounce back for the Mets today.
And Toast, you like the Mets too? The comments hate the pick. It seems like everyone's on the Brewers here.
Oh, good. Even better. Yeah, I can't really add too much to that. Beaver did a really good job. For me, I understand that DL Hall has been stretched out a little bit. Still gives me a lot of pause. As far as how long we're going to see him. It's just one of those things where I just have to see it with my own eyes in a regular season game before I trust it. I am well aware that he's stretched out, but still doesn't really bother me. He also has a little bit of struggle, like Beaver said, with the righties in the lineup, and the righties in the Mets lineup, Lindor can switch over to there, Alonso, Marte, who hit a home run yesterday, Alvarez, Bader, Bader's not really power, but the power guys in the bat are come from the right side. So, and then as far as it comes to Sevy's concerned, I just think this is going to be a Sevy bounce back tour. He looked decent to end of the year last year. He looked bad in his one start against Houston at the end of the year, but the previous other three besides that against Milwaukee, this Milwaukee team, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs on the road at Detroit and against Washington. He went in those 2 starts. He went 13 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and didn't give up a run and 10 strikeouts. So I think if Severino's not tipping his pitches like they talked about last year, I think he's going to be just fine. Beaver talked about the bullpen edges a little bit just as well with all the relievers going yesterday for the Brewers. So I also played the Mets last night as well.
The comments, I feel, are heavily overreacting to that game yesterday.
I know.
Jesus Christ, man. God, it's only one game.
Tie game.
We don't know.
Innings.
Yeah.
I will say, JD said that Luis Severino is a bet on pitcher. What do you think about that, Toast?
You guys are using my words against me, and I don't like it.
Because they're shitty words. I'm on the Mets, too. I'm writing it down.
I've used that term twice this year. I'm 2-0. Just want to point that out. Somebody keep that in the comments, please. Thank you.
I will. I need to get a piece of paper. I'll list.
Line movement, I mean, it was at -122 this morning. It's now up to -130 on some books. So odds makers definitely moving that line towards the Mets. Brewers win the poll, though. So the comments, the viewers are taking the Brewers. All right.
I don't blame them.
They must just not like Sevy, I guess. Because
I mean, in terms of if we're doing a little bit recency bias, Mets were horrendous yesterday. Sevy sucked.
It was
last
tied
year.
late in the game, though.
it
was like the Mets. They acted like the Mets got crushed. Like they could have won that game. All right. Tigers, White Sox. White Sox. We got -137 plus 118 pass. All right. Toast was on the Tigers for opening day. I think so was Prop Beaver. I think you guys both like the Tigers.
No.
Oh.
I said I was going to skip. I said Tigers first 5 run line or pass. The first 5 run line did cash, but they won 1-0. So
I would love to take the White Sox here as short home dogs, but not the biggest Soroka guy. This guy's walk rate last year was wasn't it 15% or something fucking wild? This guy's control is an issue. Maeda, whenever I fade him, he always seems to throw a gem. So I have no lean here, Toast.
Yeah, I like the Tigers here today. Bet the Tigers last night at 136 on FanDuel. I'm actually a fan of Maeda on the road. He seems to pitch better on the road. Last year, teams had a 635 OPS against him at home or on the road compared to at home at 822 OPS. So that's a pretty stark difference there. And then a couple other things, and that goes as well for like batting average and WRC plus as well. Maeda has been very, very well on the road. And then Soroka hasn't really shown me anything to trust him in any way. 5 of Soroka's last 7 starts last year, he gave up 4 runs or more, and he only got to the 6th inning twice. So I think the Tigers have a decent edge in the bullpen. I think that Tigers have a better lineup, and I think they have a starting pitching advantage as well. So to get them under 140, I took it again.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. I don't think I could get there with the White Sox. Prop Beaver?
Yeah, this was the only game I really didn't take that deep of a look at. And yeah, I think Toast pretty much summed it up for me. I'm getting, in my mind, the better pitcher. I think the slightly better lineup, the slightly better bullpen. Yes, it is on the road, but as Toast mentioned, Kenta Maeda on the road's a beast. So yeah, I'm going to take the Tigers at that short price there. Not really going to overthink it.
Yeah, I'll put Tigers up for me too, but I'm not betting this one. This is Tigers or pass.
Yeah.
We got 52%, 32% in favor of Detroit. I'm still not down to just lay -140 juice with the Tigers on the road. I mean,
well, you got to understand, for me, I just laid 170, so 140 feels like a discount.
No, I know, but if you really sit back and think about what you're doing, laying -140 juice on the road with a team that might not win 65, 70, it's kind of crazy. But
I wouldn't go that far.
Next up, Angels, Orioles. Those Angels.
Anybody who bet the Angels opening day just doesn't know ball.
Yeah, for real.
Truly an idiot.
That's an absolute idiot.
So I'm -170, -177. I'm sorry, I made the poll at -170. It's a little price. Oh no, I'm showing -165 now. So it looks like my -170 poll is pretty on.
Yeah. Line move is not great here if you bet Orioles, like I did.
You're on Baltimore here? -1.5 or the money line?
Yeah. I took the money line at -160. So I'm going to continue to pay the juice. I don't really bother me. Here's that saying, Grayson Rodriguez is a bet on pitcher for me this year. I understand that he's Yep. So I understand that he struggled last year down the stretch, but when he came back, he was an absolute stud. In his last 7 starts of the year, he didn't give up more than 3, or he gave up more than 3 runs just once. I also like to think there's just a little bit of payback in store because the Angels absolutely destroyed him in front of these home fans early last year when he first came up in the league. I think G-Rod's, like I like to call him, he's going to be on his game today. Also, I just want to say that Griffin Canning is much better than people think. I just don't like.
He has stretches where he's really good, but he also has such a low floor, Griffin Canning.
Yeah, so I will say that I think he's a lot better than people think. I just don't like this spot for him on the road in Baltimore to start the year with Grayson Rodriguez in a nice little revenge spot. The Baltimore all lineups have changed a little bit, but over his numbers over the last Griffin Canning, by the way, his numbers over Baltimore the last 4 years, 4 innings pitched, are 4 games, 14 2/3 innings. He's 0-3 with 11.5 ERA, so 12 strikeouts and 9 walks. So Baltimore has a bullpen advantage. They all had the day off yesterday. Everybody's there. So I'll keep on landing with Baltimore right now. I tried to get cute the first time, but I'm not going to do it today.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet it, but it would only be Angels or pass for me. I mean, literally the entire world is betting the Orioles. Look at this poll, 84%
I know.
of everybody. The line's
and
not
honestly,
moving.
And honestly, I bet the Orioles last night at 164 and it hasn't moved. So obviously the books are not worried about.
Yeah, they like their position here. They think the Angels have a good shot at winning. So, but I'm not betting it. So, prop beaver?
Yeah, I'm gonna back both sides here. Actually, I'm gonna back both pitchers. I'm gonna go with the under at 8.5 here. Rodriguez had 2 polar opposite starts against the Angels last year. The first one was horrendous, 3.1 innings pitched, 8 runs allowed, awful. But in September, he went into LA, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 hits, 7 Ks. That's much better, and that pretty much aligns with Rodriguez's rookie season. March through May, he was really, really bad. 7.35 ERA, 2.6 home runs per 9 allowed, and that 3.92 xFIP suggested that he was very, very unlucky. And we saw that luck swing around during the second half because he was fantastic. From June on, he had a 2.58 ERA, 2.63 WOBA, and allowed 0.4 home runs per 9. That is 2.2 less than the beginning of the season. That's crazy right there. And I think that's more of the Grayson Rodriguez we're going to see going forward. When you look at the current makeup of this Angels lineup, this is a lineup that is equipped to produce a lot more against lefties than righties. Their average WRC plus against righties is 108 compared to 126 against lefties. And they're likely going to be starting 7 righties today. What was Rodriguez's best split last year? At home against righties, we had a 272 WOBA and a 0.23 home run per 9. That's elite. I think he could shove here. And after using none of their high leverage guys, they still carry the heavy bullpen edge. I think they should deal here. On the other side, we got Canning. And this is the scary part of this bet. As Toast had mentioned, Canning has struggled greatly against the Orioles in his career. Most of those came when the Orioles lineup wasn't really that good. 4 starts, 11.05 ERA, 2.32 WHIP. But I have some good news for Canning. Last year, he really looked good. I was shocked. He really showed me something. And we saw him have a lot more success against lefties in 2023 with much better numbers. And the Orioles, if you look at their lineup, the first 5 guys in their lineup are all lefties, and they're their best hitters. So I think that Canning, if he could shut those guys down, the bottom half of the lineup doesn't really scare me. So while the history against Baltimore is a bit terrifying, I think he could throw a solid game here. And I feel like the lack of line movement on the Baltimore line would probably suggest that a little bit. I just think with both bullpens having their high leverage arms yet to go this season, I'm going to ride with an under here after the Orioles offense went nuclear in game 1.
Yeah, it's tough taking an under with Griffin Canning on the mound, though. You never know what you're going to get.
Beaver, I have a serious question. Talking about like the lefties and righties split for Canning, how much do you put into like Rushman, Santander being switch hitters?
Not much. I mean, if they're going to be batting from the left side against them, they're going to be batting from the left side against them. You know?
Yeah. I would count them as whatever side they'll be batting from that day.
Yeah, that's how I view it as, at least.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 79%, 14% in favor of Baltimore. So as you would expect, entire world's betting the Orioles here. But they were opening day also and the Orioles won. So if you're on Baltimore, not saying that to scare you off.
I'm not scared.
I went with a lot of plays yesterday that had the line moving against me, and I went 6-1. So I don't. It doesn't
I
really
went
matter,
6-1. I went 6-1.
Shut up. Shut the hell up. I got killed day 1. I went like probably 3-8. So who cares?
All right. Braves on the road in Philadelphia. Toast, we know you're down to fade Max Fried. I will say I'm not don't know if I'm betting the Phillies, but I will say I'd be down with you if you like Nola in this spot. I could see Nola pitching a good game here.
I haven't bet it yet. I was kind of waiting to see what the live movement is, but it's just really hard for me to think that Nola isn't going to pitch well. He doesn't pitch well in Atlanta, but his last 2 starts against Atlanta at home here at the bank, 12 innings pitched, 6 hits, no runs, 13 strikeouts. On the other side, obviously Max Fried, when he goes into Philadelphia, he actually pitches really well too. His last 2 starts, 10 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, 14 strikeouts. So
I feel like this line is too short to actually bet the Phillies here, Toast.
Yeah, so do I. That's how I am. Like, I don't trust this Phillies bullpen right now, and I just really can't get there. So I guess Phillies first 5, or I would lean Phillies, but those pie charts scare the hell out of me. And the fact that I really can't trust the Phillies bullpen right now. Alvarado went 30 pitches yesterday or whatever it was, so he's definitely not going to be available. And I'm not really sure if I trust the Phillies bullpen in these high leverage spots. And Hoffman went yesterday, so I don't know if he's going to go on back-to-back days. Everybody knows how Soto is. He could be really good or really bad. And Sir Anthony Dominguez is not one of my favorites. So yeah,
I'm a believer in the Phillies bullpen. I like those arms. I know that the numbers
so
don't
up and down though. Like when they're
but
bad,
they're up.
They are bad.
But when they're ups, they're like a top 3 bullpen when those guys are on.
I'm just not. I need to see it first. I need to feel it. I lean Phillies. I'm not going to bet this game. I'm going to watch it.
I actually kind of want to bet the Braves if they're giving us this short number. Prop Beaver?
The pie charts make me want to bet the Braves, to be honest.
I don't understand that, Toast, because the pie chart, the top thing is the public. The sharps are on the Phillies. All the publics are on the Braves.
I thought it was bets and money.
So
I wouldn't I wouldn't bet based on those pie charts.
Yeah, and I wouldn't bet based on that anyways.
Right.
I placed this bet. I put it on the website. I feel good about it. I'm taking the Phillies on the first 5 money line. I got that at plus 110. As you were alluding to, Toast, Aaron Nola, the dude pitches well against these Braves. Against the current lineup, he's got a 7.98 OPS, which is about middle of the pack, but he strikes him out at a high rate. And if you look at his last 5 starts against them, 2.73 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. Last 11 home starts against Atlanta, he's 6-1 with a 2.63 ERA, 0.97 WHIP. Nola's not a guy that I like backing as a favorite, but Kyle, you must attest to this. When he's a dog, this is a guy that we like to back here. He plays to his level of competition. And as the numbers against the Braves indicate, he's shoved lately. I think he could replicate that here. The Braves offense is elite. We know that, but losing Murphy to injury does help our case a bit. And if Nola's on his game, it's hard for most lineups to get to him. Nola, throughout his career, has tended to see a drop-off in his numbers his 3rd time or later through the order, and the Phillies bullpen always finds a way to suck. So I think about isolating it through the first 5 here. That's the move. Fried, his last 7 starts against the Phillies has been good. 4.08 ERA, but that 1.53 WHIP is high. And on top of that, he's 0-2. A trend that I've noticed is that in those games, the Philly first 5 money line in his last 6 starts is 4-1-1. But the Phillies lost the majority of that game, mainly due to the bullpen blowing up. But the first 5, they've been winning that. And Fried against the current lineup, he's got an 857 OPS, 301 OBA. That's not really good. Phillies lineup is one I project to be a lot better against lefties this year. And there isn't one bat in the Phillies lineup with a WRC plus below 97. That provides us a really solid floor here. Last year, we saw the Phillies body left-handed pitching at home, boasting the 5th best WRC plus, the 4th best ISO, and 4th best OPS. And a trend I've noticed is despite having arguably a top 3 lineup in baseball behind him, Fried struggles to get run support against opponents in his division. That has been a trend for years now. So I think at the plus price, I'm going to take a stab that he could falter early against a tough division rival.
Okay, I can get on board with that. If you're going to bet the Phillies, bet the first 5. But based on you guys were saying, why wouldn't you go here? Under.
I bet the under as well. I was just about to say that.
If we don't, but Prop Beaver was just saying the Phillies lineup has good numbers against Fried, though. I'm not
301 OBA.
I will say what I like what Prop Beaver said, and if you do like the Phillies here, stick to the first 5 at plus 110. Nola as a dog is a beast. It's Nola. When Nola's a minus 190 favorite against the White Sox, that's when you fade him.
Against the Rockies on a Tuesday afternoon, he'll give up 7 runs.
That's Nola. So I'll go under a pass. This is a cool game, but I don't think I'm gonna bet it. So we got 53%, 26% in favor of Atlanta. So community is betting the Braves, but there is a lot of people out there taking Philly here. I think in the full game, if I put a gun to my head, forced me to pick a side,
yes,
I would take the Braves at minus 135.
Simply due to the bullpen.
Yeah. Even though I like the Philly bullpen, but not as yeah. All right, Cleveland, Oakland.
So bad yesterday.
We were talking about this one before we went on. Toast, are you? Toast is not one that's scared to bet a team to complete the sweep because we got Cleveland
not at all.
looking to complete the
Cleveland
sweep.
or pass for me. It's Cleveland or pass for me. I'm not going to. I haven't bet it yet, but it's just really hard to get there with JP Sears. I think he's actually one of the more talented guys in Oakland's rotation. And he actually, if you take a look at his numbers, his last 7 starts of last year, he had 1 bad start against Seattle and a bad road start against the White Sox. But against Toronto, the Angels, Detroit, the Angels again, I mean, he's going 4 or 5 innings, giving up 2 or 3 runs. He's a very average guy. Bibby's the guy that I really want to see pitch today because he's one of those guys that has been very, very good. He started his rookie season 10-4 with an ERA under 3. In his last 7 starts of the year, only gave up more than 2 runs once to Detroit, and that was a home game. His starts on the road, 7 innings against the Angels, 2 runs, 5 innings against the Twins, 2 runs, 7 innings against the Rays, 2 runs. So he's been very, very good on the road. Cleveland just kind of almost didn't play very well. I guess at the end of the night last night, I kind of felt it slipping away a little bit. I just feel really lucky to get both of these games so far. So I just wasn't overly excited to dip my foot into the water again, but there's no way I could get to Oakland here.
Yeah, I would love to with this short line. You know, after Cleveland takes the first 2, everyone's going to be taking Cleveland here. Maybe Oakland prevents themselves from getting swept, but I don't think I could do it here. Probably if you have any reason to take a shot with Oakland.
I wanted to bet JP Sears under 2.5 earned runs bad. I wanted to bet it bad because normally I look to fade the Guardians against lefties at all costs due to their lefty-heavy lineup. But the issue is JP Sears is one of those lefties that struggles a lot more than against lefties than righties, despite being a lefty. So
how many lefties in Cleveland's lineup?
5, I believe, or 4 against lefties, which is a lot compared to most lineups.
Right.
It's a lot.
But also it's their big names, Quan,
and
Ramirez.
Yes, and it's their better hitters too.
Yeah.
So that's scary.
Jimenez.
So that removes the value of fading them. I wanted to get the Bibby over K's because I think the A's are going to be next level bad at limiting K's this season. But 6.5 is one number too high. I would have loved the 5.5 juiced. And plus 105 is not enough to get me to take the leap on the road. Guardians are probably the move here, but it's a moral code. It's a rule I have. I cannot back the Guardians against the lefty, so I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I want to bet Oakland. I can't do it. So I'll put, I guess, Cleveland or pass like Toast, but damn it, I can't get involved here.
Sauce, I was trying to get there. I was really trying.
Yeah, there's
the same thing that you
I don't
said,
know
the
what they're
exact same
doing with
thoughts
these
went-
prices, though. Like, what are they seeing? If this is like Oakland plus 145, like, I think I'd be down, but plus 120, what the hell are they doing to us here?
Like, I'm almost at a point where, like, I'm in my head, I'm like, maybe I should just bet it because they're just off. They're just priced off. And
someone in the someone said y'all got Kyle defending his honor in the chat. Yeah, everyone's making fun of my Rockies pick. I didn't make a Rockies pick. I haven't bet the Rockies.
I did.
Yeah, Toast
me,
bet the
2
Rockies.
days in a row. Say
Yeah.
what you want in the comments. I don't give a
Yeah, that was he bet the Rockies, man. I didn't take the dog shit Rockies.
Been
We'll get to
baseball
that
for 10
later.
years. You think I'm worried about that?
What was it, man? I'm not taking losses I didn't even bet. Screw that. All right, so we got 72%, 18% in favor of Cleveland. So as expected, everyone's taking Cleveland here, and who could blame them, honestly? Next game, Toronto, Tampa. Just want to flex my Tampa win here, guys. Told you guys. Probably should have listened to me. I know ball.
You probably should have listened and took the Mariners last night, but you didn't.
I didn't take the other
You took
side.
it off the ticket.
I didn't bet it. You're right. I took it off the ticket and got scared, but it's not like I took Boston. You can't flex when I passed. You only can flex if I... Jesus. You're desperate for W's that you're just reaching.
Listen, if I got to crawl into the crawl space to get some W's, I'll go in there.
Crawl-
I don't care if there's
I'll go
spiders
in there.
crawling on me.
I
don't care if there's webs
I'll go
around.
in there. Kikuchi on the road here. Tampa was nice against lefties last year. We know that. But I'm pretty sure... Wait, Prop Beaver, our notes from the opening day, pretty sure you were saying the current Rays lineup with their current injuries, they could still hit lefties. It's their numbers against righties you're worried about? Did I have that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're going Tampa here.
Yeah, you want me to start off? Okay, so I'm not going to take a side here, actually. I did want to get to Tampa, but I could see arguments for both sides because Zach Little, I think there's a little problem here.
I thought his name was Littell.
Well, there's a little problem here because his numbers against the Jays' current lineup, they are very good. He's got an 848 OPS, a 308 OBA, and just a 13K percentage. That's pretty gross. He's had 3 appearances against the Blue Jays, 6.14 ERA, 191 WHIP. That's not good either. And the Blue Jays last year, they showcased that they're actually better against lefties lately than they've been in the past. They were 9th in WRC plus. If you look at their lineup against lefties this season, they have 6 guys in their lineup with a WRC plus north of 122 against lefties. That's good, and actually it's better than their lineup against righties. Littell was impressive as a starter last year for Tampa, but I can't help but feel a little luck was involved. I mean, at home against righties last season, he allowed 2 home runs per 9 and a 4.98 xFIP. That's not very good. Add in the previous poor history against Toronto, and I think that the Jays could get some early runs here. On the other side, we've got Yusei Kikuchi, and Kikuchi was excellent against the Rays to start his career. First 5 matchups, 3-0, 1.88 ERA.
Well, Kikuchi was excellent, period, to start the season last year.
No, I was talking about strictly against the Rays.
Okay.
I'm talking about in his career, he started off excellent against the Rays. But if you look at their last 3 matchups, that has completely fallen off a cliff. 7.07 ERA, 1.86 WHIP, 1.93 home runs per 9 allowed. And while you guys have probably heard me on the show the past 2 days, I've been talking down on the Rays lineup against righties. You're not going to hear me say shit about the Rays lineup against lefties. They have been my wagon the last 2 years, and they're still going to be my wagon because they have 7 bats in their lineup with a WRC plus of 123 against lefty the last 3 seasons. That's flat out elite. They sit 4th in WRC plus and 6th in ISO against lefties last season. I expect similar results this season. Kikuchi on the road against righties over the last 3 seasons owns a 369 WOBA, 162 WHIP, and 1.7 home run per 9. He's set to see 9 of those today. I really don't like the Jays bullpen, and I feel like the Rays bullpen, while good, is a bit overrated. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay first 5 team total over 2.5 at plus 120. You get that on DraftKings, ESPN Bet, and Points Bet. And then I'm also going to take the Toronto Tampa Bay over 8.5 at plus 100.
Do I have a graphic for your first 5 team total?
Well, I sent them all to Andy. I believe he made them.
I have over. First 5. There it is. I got it. Okay. Yeah. And then you're also taking the full game total over.
Over as well. Yeah.
I'll give
but
you.
I just saw the Tampa plus 120, and that's a roll of mine. If you're going to give me plus money at home with Tampa against a lefty, I'm taking that every day of the week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would go Tampa here. Yeah. I'm going to write this one down. This is definitely going to be one I might pull the trigger on. And I actually will post them on the site. I forgot to yesterday. I had so much going on. Let me write this one down so I don't forget.
You're a busy man. Give yourself a break.
Raise money line. I'll write minus 125. Oh, looks like it's up at minus 130 now. 2 favorites that I have written down. All right, Toast, would you agree with us?
Yeah, Rays are probably one of my favorite bets on the board today. Kikuchi, I don't really actually have that big of a problem with him. I have a problem with him in Tampa Bay because this is where he struggles at the Trop. Last season, pitched there twice, 8 earned runs over 9 innings. He threw there just once in 2022 and pitched only 4 innings, a 2-run ball. So really over the last couple of years, anytime he's been to Tampa, he's really struggled. Kikuchi also didn't look good in the spring. He went 7 2/3 innings, gave up 14 earned runs. That's a 16.43 ERA. I don't put a whole bunch into that, but at the same time, I just don't. It's really hard for me to expect him just to start pitching well in a place that he hasn't pitched well before. Lido lines up on the other side. He didn't really look fantastic. The Rays got him last year. He wasn't one of the best pitchers that they ever got, but they do a very good job in the Rays organization of messing up with fixing their pitch mix, and since then he's looked really, really good. I trust him. I trust the Rays bullpen, and Beaver talked about how good the Rays bats are as well. So it's just really hard for me not to like the Rays here in this spot.
Yeah, looks like we're a Tampa program today. Rays across the board. Our poll, 51%, 32% Tampa. So you guys are leaning towards the Rays as well. Next up, Minnesota, Kansas City, and Proppy. What are they doing it to us here?
Dude, they're giving me a.
I want to bet. I think Seth Lugo's going to be good this year. I think the Royals lineup's going to be improved. But at plus 108 against Joe, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? You're making it impossible for me to try to take the Royals.
I mean,
yeah, I'm not taking the Royals.
Yeah,
I love the Royals, but my rule with the Royals, and I realized this day one, I messed up immediately. Got to be more disciplined. I'm taking the Royals at home against lefties. That would be my spot. I take them.
You said that all off season.
I will take that every time. Righties, though, this lineup fucking sucks against righties. I mean, they just have one bat in the lineup with a WRC plus of 110 over the last 3 seasons. 110. That's not even that great. I mean, that is just putrid. And Joe Ryan, whether he's looked good or not in spring training, the guy is absolutely son the Royals. 492 OPS across 72 plate appearances. Who hasn't? But this is a bit extra from Joe Ryan. 6 career starts. He's 5-0 with a 1.5 ERA, 0.89 WHIP. He's usually worse on the road, right? That's the one caveat with Joe Ryan. 3 starts at KC. He's been even better on the road against them. 3-0, 1.02 ERA, 0.5 home run per 9. I mean, I plan on backing my beloved Royals one day. Trust me, one day that will happen. But I do like Seth Lugo. I think he's all right. But even with Royce Lewis, the Twins have the better lineup. They have the better pitcher. The only thing that would really give me pause is the fact that the Twins are still missing some guys from the bullpen, and that's why I wind up ultimately going with the Twins' first 5 money line at -125.
Oh, you went Twins first 5?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. See if I have a graphic for it. There you go.
Maybe they're pricing something because they smell some blood in the water late in the game. I don't know, but I'm gonna take the Joe Ryan in the first 5 and -125 against a team he's stunned every time.
I think it's a popular take that people like the value on the Royals this year, and I think maybe there's a lot of sharp money coming in on Kansas City, maybe beating that take to death to the point where there's no value left in it. And
I must say, as a loyal lover of the Royals this year, I was very hyped on them going into the season. When I saw their regular season win total over, that was way too high.
What was that at?
It was at something like 78.5 or something. It was
Get the
super
fuck
high.
out of here.
Yeah, and I was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, they're asking them to take a astronomical step up here. Maybe
That's what
the
I'm
Bucks
saying.
really think they're going to be good this year, so maybe they're pricing them like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no way. Twins are. I'm gonna write Twins down. Another one where the price seems a little sketchy, but there's no way. Toast, no reason to take the Royals, right?
No, I played under 8.5 last night. Sent it out. It's at 8 now. I feel really good about it. I think we got ourselves an old-fashioned pitching duel here today, boys. Joe Ryan didn't really end the year fantastic. Had a couple rough starts to the end of the year last year, but against Kansas City, home on the road, like Beaver said, I think he used the word "sun" them. That's what he's been doing to them. And then as far as Seth Lugo goes, I have all the utmost confidence in the world in Seth Lugo. He pitched fantastic for the Padres last year, and his 2 starts or his 1 start against Minnesota last year, he went 6 innings. They only gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. Add on the fact that both of these bullpens are fresh. Add on the fact that one of the better hitters for the Twins is out in Royce Lewis. Under for me.
Yeah, that's cool. I could see that. So our poll is on the Twins. We got 67% of our viewers are taking Minnesota, 17% taking the Royals. So yeah, I mean this price, maybe I think there's some people with some influence with maybe a following giving out Royals picks that are just flooding this market.
This is kind of a random question, but do you know how Joe Ryan was in spring, Beaver? Just curious. Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
Okay.
I thought I had looked at something, though, and I guess it wasn't the most promising. I don't know if it was the end of last season, like you had mentioned, or if it was spring training, but I will check that now.
So we got Nats and Reds, and I forgot. I keep telling people I'm going to put the total in the poll. I keep forgetting, so I'm going to put that in there. All right, so we got Nats as Nats. We got Nats at Reds. -180, -175, depending on your sports book. Nats are priced that are out +145. You guys know what I want to do. My guys.
Oh,
on the
I know
mountain.
what you want to do.
My
And I'm
guys-
kind of somewhat with you. I'm somewhat there with you.
My guy's on the mountain.
Do it.
Just an absolute gamer.
Do it.
No, you go first, Toast.
You already know what I'm playing. I'm playing
I have no
the Reds.
idea.
Oh, sorry. I'm playing the Reds. I laid it -160 with the Reds. It's at 180 now. I have no problem doing it. I'm going to continue to fade Patrick Corbin, and as long as the Nationals throw his ass out there. 3 straight Stevens with an expected ERA over 5.50. Last year, I think he finished with an xERA over 6. Hunter Green is one of these guys that I think is going to continue to get better in this league. I understand that he's had his issues at times, and especially didn't look good to end last season, his last 2 starts, but the previous 4 or 5 before that, he was just fine. In his 2 starts at home, 7 innings, 1 run, or 3 hits, 1 run, 14 strikeouts against the Twins, who were a playoff team. And then his other start at home to end of the year, 6 innings, 1 hit, 4 walks, which was an issue against the Cardinals, but no runs. So I just have a hard time believing that Patrick Corbin comes out here and pitches a gem against this Reds team. So I'm going to continue to fade Patrick Corbin until I can't stop fading him anymore.
I don't know about that.
So the total was at 9 last night. It's at 10 now. So just be careful with that, boys.
I'm looking at Nats
Not
plus 1.5 at minus 130 here. Prop beaver.
Bad.
Total's at 9 yesterday. It's at 10 now. Thank you, Sharps. I'm on the under 10 here.
Yeah, it's a touche, Beaver.
Yep, I'm on the under 10
Oh,
here.
Patrick Corbin's going to get rocked, but you guys like the under.
I didn't say he was going to get rocked.
I didn't say he was going to
I
get
will
rocked.
continue to fade Patrick Corbin. Bet on pitcher.
Yeah, I am.
I definitely didn't say he was going to get rocked. So let me just put that out.
I didn't say he was going to get rocked. I just said he was going to.
So I guess the voices in your head told you he was going to get rocked. I don't know where that came from. Maybe the comments.
He said he's going to fade Patrick Corbin. That means he's going to get hit up, right?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think Hunter Green could dominate here. So let me get into it. Nats lineup has never seen Green before. Besides Eddie Rosario, who's 1-6 against them. He's now going to face a Nats lineup that's set to have 6 lefties in it, and that's good news for Green because he's had a lot more success against lefties. 312 WOBA, which is much better than his 354. He has a 5% boost in K to BB percentage. On top of that, if we look at XFIP, his best spots at home against lefties, where he's got a 3.3. That's pretty goddamn good right there. And I'm willing to look at I was willing to look past how bad the Nats lineup was opening day because I really wanted to fade Frankie Montas in Great American Ballpark. But I see zero reason to do that against Hunter Green. I mean, they have one lone bat with a WRC plus above 111 against righties. Their average WRC plus against righties over the last 3 seasons is 96. That is gross. While Green may struggle to generate strikeouts here because the Nats they have pretty good plate discipline, I think he's still going to have an easy time grabbing outs, getting soft, bad contact here. And then on the other side, this is a bit shocking, but Patrick Corbin's had a ton of success against Cincy in his career. Last 5 starts, he's 3-1 with a 3.9 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, which for Patrick Corbin is like elite numbers. His last 3 visits to Great American Ballpark, get this, 2-0, 2.84 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. The dude has dominated.
Can you repeat that again for the people in the back?
Last 3 at Great American Ballpark, 2-0, 2.84 ERA, 1.161 WHIP.
He owns this ballpark.
He owns the ballpark. He's the owner.
Those,
I think 2 of those were the past 2 seasons or something like that. So, I mean, it's been
wow,
pretty
so it's in your face.
2021, 2022 Patrick Corbin is completely different than 25 Patrick Corbin.
Disagreed.
He might be even worse. And as a whole, the Reds versus lefties have been a wagon for me the last 2 seasons. I'm the king of Reds first 5 team totals at home against lefties. But I'm just not impressed at all when I look at this lineup against lefties in its current state. It's the worst lineup I think the Reds are going to put out against lefties in probably 2 or 3 years. So I think Corbin can sneakily not look like a steaming pile of dog shit. I look to take overs at Great American Ballpark when the weather's warm, but we're still in the early stages of spring. I feel comfortable taking a double-digit under here with the high leverage arms for both pens rested here.
Well, I
Beaver, I just want to say it's 65 degrees with 14-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, so maybe not the cold spring.
A little scary. I just checked.
Wind is fake.
Yeah, wind's a fake stat.
Wind's fake.
Kind of that.
So is the weather.
I would actually agree with that. Probably a Great America.
Trigger pulled. Bet the Nats plus 1.5 and the money line. Corbin owns this ballpark.
Nat up.
Now, like, if we look, I gotta be careful because some people are new to the show and they don't realize like we're just talking shit. Some people like he really likes it. Like, put down. I did bet the Nats, but I bet it responsibly. How about that? This would be my pick for this game. Washington plus 1.5.
Kyle is a pillar of responsibility.
Yep.
Someone said, Kyle, you don't like money. You must not know me very well. All right, so Cincinnati money line, Washington plus 1.5. Next game.
When I first met Kyle, he just said, I need money.
I said, shit, me too.
We've been kicking it since then.
Pirates Pirates minus 105, Marlins minus 115, over 8.5, and the under up. I ran the poll and forgot to put the under in there. So if you like the under, you're screwed.
F you.
Yeah. if you like the under, just click the X and watch a different show. So we got Marlins Pirates. Pirates, the second most profitable team in the MLB with a plus 115% ROI. 2-0, both at plus money. The Yankees are the first most profitable team, if you're wondering who's first. Do you go for the Pirate sweep here against
Absolutely.
Fate of Weathers?
Dude. Yeah, I'm backing the Pirates here in Jared Jones' MLB debut simply because the Marlins are atrocious. I think Commission Toast nailed it on the head. The Marlins have a slightly better lineup against righties, but they're still not very good, and they've never seen Jared Jones stuff before. Meanwhile, we have seen plenty of Ryan Weathers, and you know what the harsh reality is? The guy sucks, and there doesn't seem to be any improvement on the way. Not on spring training, not over his last 3 years. There's been zero signs of improvement from this kid. So I'm gonna back the lineup that now seeing his third lefty in a row, which just showed me signs of fight the first 2 games, especially with the high leverage arms for Pittsburgh getting an off day yesterday. I'm taking the plus money with the Pirates. Zero chance of taking the
It isn't plus money, you dick.
I got it at plus money. Plus 100.
I was going to say it was.
It's a minus 115, minus 1.
I guess the line moved.
You can still get minus 105 on Caesars. Pull your Caesars bet up.
Call me a dickhead because I'm off by 5 cents.
It's basically a pick 'em now, yo.
Yeah.
All right,
Still
let's run a new
taking it.
poll with the proper.
I get to fade Ryan Weathers at a pick 'em. God bless America.
Exactly.
Marlins minus 115, and I'll add the under in this time. So those of you that were like dying to click on your under bet, your time is now.
Those of you willing to take an under with Ryan Weathers, here you go.
Those of you freaks out there, I kind of want to be on the other side here, Toast. What do you think?
I didn't bet it, but personally, I was kind of irritated yesterday. I know Beaver had a play on him, but I'm not even talking about Beaver. There were so many people that had me convinced that AJ Puck was going to be good yesterday, and I'm just so mad that I didn't stick to my guns on that one. I didn't play this one. It would be Pirates or pass for me as well. Everything that Beaver said.
You think guys aren't a little bit worried about betting the Pirates to complete a road sweep to start the season?
Because
the Pirates started off the season as like what, an ungodly pace last year. Didn't they lose like 5 games throughout?
Did they sweep on the road?
I'm sure they swept some of those series.
So, yeah, they started like 15-2, so they would have to at some point. Yeah.
I like Miami here.
Yeah, you can bet him. Luis Ariz looks fantastic this year. I think he has almost got a ball out of the infield once in these last 2 games.
Yeah, that was good.
So that should help. Yeah, there's nothing for me to like about this Miami team. I'm sorry. Beaver said it really good. I watched Ryan Weathers a lot in San Diego. I actually thought that he might have some promise. His family's with Major League Baseball as well. Yada, yada, yada. There's lineage there. He's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Luis Ariz can't find himself right now. The only person on this team that's even doing anything right now is Jake Berger. And he's your 6th hitter, 5 hitter, whatever.
And he's much better against lefties.
Yeah, so it's just really hard for me. And I actually think that this Jaron Jones kid's actually going to be pretty decent. There's a reason that he's on the team and Paul Skeens isn't right now. So, it's Buccos or pass for me.
So, yeah, I put Miami on my list. I'm probably going to bet this. This is crazy that so many people like the two gentlemen sitting next to me are just willing to blindly bet on a pitcher making his first career start and complete a road sweep for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
But he doesn't care if it's a road sweep or not. It's not like that's something.
He cares. He cares.
We're going to sweep them. If I don't lose, we're not going to sweep them.
No, but what are the odds of the Pirates completing a road sweep?
Against the worst team in baseball, I would say
they're like the second worst team in baseball.
They're probably higher than you think, Kyle. Whatever the odds are, they're probably higher than you think.
I think they're lower than you think.
Yeah, well, I think
you're right. The Pirates are sweet. You're right. The Pirates are dope this year. There you go.
If you think it's duck season, I think it's rabbit season.
I played all team unders for season win total for this Miami team, so I'm going to fade them essentially every day.
I think they suck, but they're not going to lose 160 games. A home game after losing 2 to the Pirates, that seems a winnable spot. Cubs plus 105, Rangers minus 125, over 9.5. Miami's going to win that game. I'm betting that. The more I think of it, Miami's going to win that game. All right, so Kyle Hendricks plus 105. Any takers?
I like the over 9. It's 9.5 now. I'd still take it for a sprinkle. Definitely like the over here. Our buddy Kamish liked it as well. Last year,
is on the over too, you said?
Say that again?
Kamish likes over too, you said?
Yes. Last year, the Cubs were a top 10 hitting team, top 10 team against left-handed pitchers. They've also seen Mr. Bradford this spring. Rangers number four last year in right-handed pitchers, and they have one of the better lineups in Major League Baseball. Also, Bradford and or Hendricks, I don't really think are going to go deep into this game, and I think both of these bullpens are kind of weak. Both of these starters have some really bad expected numbers as well. Bradford's at like a 4.77 xFIP. Hendricks is at a 4.42 as well. It's just not really good. These lineups should really get going. These two teams played 3 times last year. 2 of the games had 10 plus runs in it. I just think that both teams kind of break out at the plate today.
Yeah, I very doubt I place a bet here. I don't feel very strongly about either side. Prop Beaver?
Yeah, definitely one of my least favorite games on today's slate. I lean Cubs first 5 money line or Cubs first 5 team total over 2.5. I'll get into it.
So just a fade of Bradford?
Pretty much, yeah. He's really struggled as an MLB starter thus far through 8 starts. 370 WOBA, 695 ERA, and his 4.86 xFIP. It suggests he's a bit unlucky, but that still also suggests he's not a very good pitcher. So don't really love that. Now facing Cubs lineup that's a lot more appealing to back against lefties. We saw that last season, 10th in WRC+, 7th in ISO, and something that was appealing to me on the road against lefties, they were even better. 5th in WRC+, 8th in ISO, 5th in OPS. The one thing that scares me, though, about the late innings, I think the Rangers did a really good job of acquiring arms in the offseason to bolster that bullpen. So I don't really want to fade that bullpen, but as far as first 5 goes, I think the Cubs have some success scoring. Bradford has allowed 3+ runs through the first 5 and 5 of 8 starts thus far. So at plus 110, I think that's a solid price. And then on the other side, we got Kyle Hendricks. I really never know how to cap this guy. I mean,
he was so good for a while last year.
He's Jekyll and Hyde. He's either so goddamn good or so goddamn bad. It's just, so I don't really have anything to go by there. Simply due to that, I'm going to take the Cubs first 5 at the plus money, hoping that, I guess Jekyll shows up today. The good Kyle Hendricks shows up today.
Well, Hyde is no, Jekyll's the good one.
Yeah, Jekyll's the good one. So, I mean, I just feel good about the Cubs getting to Langford. That's pretty much what I'm telling you guys here.
I guess I'll put up Cubs money line for me if I had to bet it, but no. This is Cubs or pass. Oh, strong pass. Our viewers are leaning towards the defending World Series champions. Let's see what the...
You got balls back in Bradford.
Come on, results? 56%, 20% in favor of Texas.
We're back in Hendricks, Toast. You mean we got balls back in Hendricks?
No, I'm talking about the poll.
Oh, okay.
We got Yankees Astros. Yankees looking to finish these Stros off here, handling their business in the first 2. This line is minus 135, minus 138, somewhere in there. So we'll run the poll at minus 135. You got the Yankees at around plus 115. Total for this one's at 9. I really liked the Stros yesterday, and that was one of my losses. I mean, I want to take the Stros again today. Who knows how Stroman's going to come out and look. I mean, last year, I know for at least the beginning of the season, Stroman at home was a beast, like slightly more vulnerable on the road. So maybe the fact that this game's in Houston is something of an angle. What do you guys think?
I was just looking at my notes. I actually forgot to do this game. So,
Toast, what do you think?
Yeah.
It's Astros or pass for me. I just can't get behind Marcus Stroman and what he's shown me. To end the season last year, he was just absolutely terrible. I mean, honestly, 2 innings, 4 runs, 3 innings, 3 innings, 3 innings, 3 innings, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's just absolutely terrible. He doesn't have the worst numbers against the Astros, but also at the same time, he hasn't faced them since 2017. So I literally put nothing into that. And then Hunter Brown on the other side, another guy that I'm not really trusting. 3 of his last 4 starts to end last season, the same damn thing. 6 runs against the Royals in 3 innings, 7 runs and 5 1/3 against Baltimore, 4 1/3 against San Diego, 6 runs on 6 hits. The Yankees hit him for 5 hits and 4 runs in 4 innings as well. So I guess I lean over again in this series. I know that I've played it the last 2 nights. Last night, I 100% feel like it should have hit. I just got super unlucky. I didn't place a bet. I lean Astros and I lean over, but I think this is going to end up being a pass for me.
Yeah, I will put Astros up for me, but I don't know. I don't really know if I.
This is a hard.
If it was closer to a pick 'em, maybe, but we're laying minus
it was kind of
135.
hard for me.
If you're betting a minus 135 favorite,
keep in mind the Astros didn't play well at home last year in any way, shape, or form. They were like really bad. And then they've lost their first 2 games here. I'm just saying maybe it's a mental thing, maybe it's not. I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to be betting on my bad guys at home until they give me a reason to. That's first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, if you're betting a minus 135 favorite, you should really like it. That's a lot of juice. So Astros are pass. Our poll likes the Yankees, and I mean, I can't really blame them. They're giving us plus money with the Yankees. If the Yankees are going to come out as one of the hottest teams in baseball, keep riding that. But personally, this will probably just be a pass. Next. Here we go. Giants Padres, and this is a good bet yesterday, Toast. I give credit when credit's due. That was a sharp play.
That was good.
Giants at plus 125. That was a sharp play.
I was very confident on that
The
one.
reason I passed on that game yesterday is because Toast went first, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm on the wrong side."
Did someone just
I'm
put,
out here. Yeah.
Did someone just put 20 emojis in here in the first inning of a baseball game? Are you brand new to betting?
Well, I will say Severino's. God, he's not doing well.
It's the first inning.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
He really stinks. He did get 2 Ks though.
Oh, nice. You got 2K. I mean,
Oh
Bet on-
my
bet-
God.
Bet on K pitcher. Bet on K pitcher.
yeah, I mean, you guys are very overly confident about the Brewers shutting the Mets lineup down here on the road. All right. But anyway, 52% is coming in on the Padres, so people leaning towards the Padres here. What do you guys think?
I would love to hear Toast's opinion first, Mr. Padre himself.
This is a really hard one for me. I was kind of going back and forth. I waited to see where the line is. I wanted to see where the line was on this one. I actually lean San Diego here. I think that they're in a bounce back spot. I really like the way that the bats looked last night. I understand that they lost, but there was a couple parts in that game where I think that San Francisco got a little bit lucky. And I look, Jordan Hicks is one of these guys, another one of these guys, and I've talked about it a couple of times. Reliever going to a starter. I don't trust it. He looked fantastic in spring, like absolutely unreal. I can't say a bad thing about Jordan Hicks and what he's looked like. But again, I just don't know what to trust him. I understand that he's been stretched out or trying to get stretched out. He pitched 4 or 5 innings multiple times last year. I get all that. But at the same time, Dylan Cease has looked fantastic this spring as well. The Padres, I didn't like the Padres yesterday because they didn't have all their major bullpen arms, and San Francisco did. Now that's switched around, and Dylan Cease actually ended the year last year pretty damn well. Starts against the Padres, Boston, Minnesota, KC, and the only time that he pitched bad was against Minnesota. Everything else was 1 run or less. So, and not to mention the fact that he faced this Giants team last year, went 5 innings, had 5 walks, 8 strikeouts, still only gave up 1 run. As long as Dylan Cease keeps the walks down, the Padres should win this game. So I was hoping to get him under 130, but I'm probably going to bet it here in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, so people are counting their Brewers money already. Dude, you got DL Hall making a road start here. Like, I don't know. You got to be brand new.
I really thought that Sevy would pitch well today, so I look like an idiot.
Oh,
Maybe it's one bad inning. We'll see.
I like the Mets lineup
not
today.
Not the best inning. Not the best inning.
Yeah, I wasn't trusting Severino. I just like the Mets lineup.
I was in the opposite boat. So that was disappointing. Yeah, here I'm in agreement with you. I went with the Padres first 5 money line though. I'll drink a little bit more juice. I am still scared of the Padres bullpen. Sure, they had Rogers go yesterday, but they still have the other Rogers. They still have Doval. And I just trust those high leverage guys way more than I do the Padres. So I'm isolating the first 5. I'll drink the juice here. Cease, as you said, against the Giants lineup, he's had some success. 682 OPS, 35 strikeout rate, 2 starts against them. He's 2-0 with a 1.8 ERA. Now, one thing I will say about Cease is he is a bit more vulnerable against lefties. Giants will have 5 today, but as a whole, I'm much higher on this Giants lineup against lefties, not righties. And their lineup against righties has a lot of guys who swing and miss at a league average to above average rate. So if he gets the swing and misses going, I think he could deal here. On the other side, we got Jordan Hicks. And while I love Jordan Hicks, the reliever, I'm still very skeptic of Jordan Hicks, the starter. We saw Toronto already try to stretch him out through 24.1 innings as a starter. He had a 5.47 ERA, 5.13 xFIP, 1.56 WHIP, and what was really concerning, the 17.5 base on ball percentage. That is gross. And that walk rate is really concerning in this matchup because despite the fact that the Padres let Soto go in the offseason, this is still a lineup that was first in base on ball percentage against righties last season. There are plenty of guys who draw walks at a league average to above league average rate. And the Padres had the worst luck in terms of hitting with runners in scoring position I've ever seen last season. That's due to come around. And if Hicks is going to be giving up free bases, I think that San Diego can make him pay. Normally, there's not a spot I like to back guys, a big pitcher with a new team, first start. But if you're going to give me Cease at minus 135 against a walk machine, I'm going to take it.
TWD in the chat says, Kyle, are you talking about
the Padres first 5 money line? What is that?
Oh, you said you were talking about the
I
heard you talk about the Giants bullpen. TWD in the chat, you said, Kyle, are you talking about a Mets lineup that hasn't done anything in 20 years? They won 101 games in the best lineup in baseball. The year before was recently.
They were 5th in WRC plus.
I was going to say.
They're like one of the stacked lineup in
questioned.
baseball. What are you even talking about? I think I like the Padres here, though. I still am standing on. I know Toast got his Giants bet yesterday. It was a sharp hit at plus 125. But I still think the gap between these two teams is bigger than when you guys are making it out to be. I think the Padres are a top 5 team in the NL, and I don't think the Giants are. I think there's a gap there. And the way you guys are talking about this, the Giants and Padres are kind of on the same level. And obviously they're division rivals. They're going to battle. But I think the Padres are a much better team with much more talent.
Here's the thing for me with the Giants. I guess I can get excited about the Giants if I'm being rational because Lee at the top of that lineup isn't going to ever strike out, and he's going to be solid. The question is, does Soler do anything for them? Because Yastrzemski's hurt. He's having a baby right now. He'll be back in that lineup. I think he's a lot better than Wade and Estrada and stuff. So the question is, do Lee, Soler, and Yastrzemski and Chapman, if they're good? Because at the bottom of the lineup's absolutely terrible. Patrick Bailey can't hit. He can just play defense. Nick Ahmed shouldn't be playing in Major League Baseball right now. So it's do the top of that lineup pitch or play well, and if they can pitch, they're going to be a lot better than people think. But that's just anyway.
So someone said he was hesitant about betting the Mets because Citi Field has some of the most overrated concessions. Hey man, everyone bets differently.
Have you ever had the waffle cone at Citi Field? I'll tell you what.
No, I had the steak sandwich. It was delicious.
One of the best concessions I've ever fucking had.
I did love Citi Field. I had a good time.
Proppy wants to go to war over the Citi Field concessions take.
The waffle cone goes crazy. The Stroop waffle.
I went to Citi Field on a random Tuesday night against the Marlins, and it was a blast.
Yeah, that park's fun.
It's a great park.
Yeah, I definitely like the California parks better.
Oh yes, Petco doesn't get better.
Petco's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Rockies D-backs. Toast, you gonna play him again?
No, I'm done. I'll figure it out. I'll get my unit.
This
back
is the one
some
they'll win.
I know. It's okay though. If anybody besides Austin Gomber was pitching,
I know it's tough.
I could maybe get there, but I honestly, I 100%. The first 2 games, I truly thought I had a chance. There's no way in hell I can get there today. I would actually pair Arizona with somebody else that you guys like Baltimore or Cincinnati, or I guess you guys don't like Cincinnati, but whatever. Base hit, we could get a 3-2 ball game here, boys. So let's go now. Anyway, Arizona or pass for me. I didn't bet this game. Yeah,
me neither. This is definitely a bet. I'm still not really down to bet Arizona at this kind of price, but no shot in hell would I bet Gomer. And I don't know if I'm going to be betting the Rockies many times this year. I haven't yet. For those of you in the comments, I have not bet the Rockies. Prop Beaver, you do anything here?
Yeah, I have 2 bets.
You're taking the Rockies.
I'm taking the Rockies. Yep. I'm taking the Rockies, and I'm taking the first 5 under 5.5 as well. Yeah, I know. Shameful. Tommy Henry against the Rockies lineup. He's done pretty well. 685 OPS, 238 OBA. He's 3-0 against them. He's got a 3.57 ERA. Probably not doing a good job of selling you so far. He's also better at home, better against righties. 323 WOBA, 128 home run per 9, 1.35 whip. So I think he's going to have a good outing today. I expect the Rockies lineup to be ass overall, but they should be a bit more potent against lefties this year with Jones, Rogers, Bryant. Those are all guys who could smash left-handed pitching. The problem is once you get past them, the final batters, they all have a WRC plus of 82 or less against lefties over the last 3 seasons, and that is fucking pathetic. So that's where the trouble comes in, but that's why I like the undervalue here. On the other side, we got Gomber, and he's gross. We all know that, but he hasn't done as bad against Arizona as he has most opponents. If you look at his last 5 starts against them, he's actually 3-0 with a 1-3 whip. That's pretty solid. And the D-backs lineup against lefties just isn't that good. That I'm just not really seeing it here. They have 4 players with WRC plus below 92 in that lineup. That's not really great here. So I think we could actually see a somewhat low-scoring game here. Through the first 5, and with the first 5 total at 5.5, that allows me plenty of room. We could get a 3-2 first 5 frames, and that still catches our under. And while taking shots on the Rockies, the last 2 games did not work out. I'm taking a stab on the Rockies here, as once we get past the first 5, I just think things are pretty evenly matched. The bullpens both don't really impress me. Or the Rockies so ass they walk out of the series swept? Possibly, but I'm gonna take my chances here at the plus money.
I would say highly probable.
Highly probable. But I'm taking my chance.
And you know what the other thing is about Gomber is 4 of those starts. Oh my gosh, was at home.
Gomber's better on the road
against Arizona. I mean, oh my God, you're gonna make me do it again, aren't you, Beaver?
Gomber's better on the road. I mean, I got to do it.
I know, and all of them have been. All those starts against Arizona have been at home, besides one.
If you're really playing that Gomber's better on the road angle, I would stick to prop Beaver's first 5 under 5.5 rather than trust anything out of the Rockies' bats, though, right?
Yeah, but at this point, I need my money back.
At this point, we got to get a lick back.
No,
I'm not bad. I'm not doing it. I don't care. If
I
don't care if Gomber has 3 Cy Youngs in his road starts. I'm not taking the Rockies to score a run. So all right, let's
bases loaded for the Mets.
Yeah, Marte.
Okay, there we go.
Cardinals, Dodgers. All right.
Sauce's favorite, Jeff McNeil to the plate.
We're done. Sorry, we'll get him next
Double
inning.
Play, loading.
We'll get him next inning, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Cards. Plus 185. Dodgers minus 225. Over 8.5. This is the second last game. We got 2 more, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I could be here all day. I love this.
Yeah, well, I got an NBA show, and then we have a March Madness show later.
I guess I should probably catch those March Madness.
Kyle can't be here all day.
There's only 2.
I know.
All right, so Cardinals, Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. As we know, Dodgers have taken the first 2 of this series. There's no reason to not take Dodgers minus 1.5 again, right?
Nope. Took them and gave them out last night as soon as I actually got Dodgers minus 1.5 plus 100 on FanDuel. Set it out last night as soon as it dropped. Fat Lance equals the Dodgers equals Dodgers minus 1.5.
It would be Fat Lance plus the Dodgers.
Oh yeah. What did I say?
Equals.
You said equals.
Oh.
Fat Lance
equals the Dodgers.
Fat Lance is the Dodgers.
He did play for the Dodgers at once. But anyway, regardless, Fat Lance on the mound. I'm going to fade him as much as I possibly can, even though I like him as a person now. And then on top of that, Yamamoto in a bounce back performance. I really didn't like the spot for him in Korea. That's why I faded him in Korea. I think there's just too much going on. I think he's going to be back here against a very, very weak Cardinals lineup. I have no problem fading them right now. So Dodgers minus 1.5. You already know what it is.
Prop Beaver, Dodgers. Don't stop it. You're not taking landslide on the road to Dodger Stadium.
Put the fucking Cardinals on the screen. Shut
Why
up.
are you doing this? What happened? Who hurt you?
Show what's on the dog where he touched you.
Nobody hurt me. I'm going with the numbers. I'm going by feel.
What
I
numbers?
think the Cardinals have. I think the Cardinals have some value.
You say
Cardinals
some shit about jet lag. I'm muting you.
Night.
If you try to bring up some jet lag, I'm muting you.
The jet lag's hitting them today. We all know that. Everybody knows jet lag takes 9 days to set in. Everybody knows that. No, but for real.
It was international, you fucks.
The Cardinal offense has been a letdown thus far. I mean, they've had just 4 combined runs over the first 2 games, but I have high hopes for this lineup. I believe in this lineup, and Yamamoto, while he is definitely due for regression, he's going to be a great pitcher. Sometimes you're just getting unlucky, and why am I going to all of a sudden believe, oh, today's the day he's not unlucky anymore? He's going to be great today. In spring, he was ass. He had an 8.38 ERA. His BABIP wasn't holy. And what happened in the first game? Again, the BABIP was a massive problem. He only allowed 4 hits and a walk and still allowed 5 earned runs. This dude cannot catch a break. So until he shows me that he is catching some breaks, I'm not going to pay the Dodgers premium to back him, especially since he's yet to make it 5 innings, both in the regular season start and in the spring start. The guy hasn't made it 5 innings yet. And I really don't love this Dodgers pen in its current state. I don't think it's very good. On the other side, yeah, it's terrifying. Fat Lance, notorious for allowing the long ball, notorious for getting pimped out daily. And the Dodgers lineup looks like it was created in MLB The Show with forced trades on. I get it. But interestingly enough, Lynn has decent history against these Dodgers. The trio of Betts, Freeman, and Teoscar are combined 8 of 49 against Lance Lynn, 163 with an average OPS of 520. Sure, has Ohtani pimped him out? Absolutely. Who the fuck doesn't Ohtani pimp out? I just think that the Cardinals have to win at least one of the games of this series, and their best 2 chances are today and tomorrow. So I'm going to play them tonight, hope it cashes. If it doesn't, I'm running it back tomorrow. Give me the Cardinals.
That's fucking crazy. You gave all these reasons of why Yamamoto might get hit up, and didn't even mention that Lance Lynn is on the road at Dodger Stadium. Is going to get tapped.
His ass, dude. Because I don't need to elaborate on that. Everybody in their
so
mom
if
knows
you're
that
fading Yamamoto,
so why is hit the first 5 team over for the Dodgers? It was at -140 last night. It's at -120 now, and it's being given out by every fucking gambling account on Twitter. Why on earth is that moving down? Because Lance Lynn actually may be somewhat decent tonight.
Oh, my God. All right. So, anyway, Rob Beaver is taking his Cardinals.
Lance Lynn legacy revenge game. Just remember, 10 strikeouts, 9 innings.
If you believe anything that Beaver says, I guess play it over.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to fade Yamamoto, why not take it over?
Because I
respect it, Beaver.
Baby.
I respect it.
I don't respect it. Not in the slightest.
Yeah, because you don't know ball, you don't know seam, you don't have respect.
Stop saying you don't know seam. It's
You're
weird.
a classless pig.
All right. All right.
Next, like a seam. Okay.
The seam of a baseball. He says it all the time. Now. He's saying like instead of you don't know ball, he says you don't know seam.
I'm not up with the lingo. It takes me a
Dude,
minute.
that's not link. That doesn't exist. That like you don't know seam. He just like says it. All right. Boston at Seattle. Logan Gilbert against Cutter Crawford. How about a Mariners first 5 run line? Can I interest you?
I'm good on that. What about you, Beaver?
I love Cutter Crawford. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
I'm on Boston.
What?
Yeah.
So,
I think I have
you
to
have a
Boston
Logan
too.
Gilbert fathead.
No, I have a George Kirby fathead, but yeah.
I was just joking. I didn't know you had a fathead. That's weird.
If I had it, I wish I did. I don't, but those things are dope. I would totally put it up.
You're a grown-ass man, Toast. You're a father.
Yeah, I got 12-year-olds and shit in my house. Yeah, that's what you do is you put up posters and stuff like, look at this one. Look at this one. Sweet posters. All posters. We got posters all over the place. This is what we do. Anyway, let's talk some baseball. Cutter Crawford. Has he ever pitched in Seattle? Yeah, I pitched there the last 2 years. Let's check out and see how he's done. Five innings. That's 10 innings, 5 hits, 0 runs, 12 strikeouts, 5 walks. There was 4 walks in the first start though, so I don't really put too much emphasis on that. And then how did Cutter Crawford end the year last year? On the road at Baltimore, 6 innings, 1 hit, 0 runs. On the road in Texas, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. On the road in Tampa, he didn't look very well, but. And then Logan Gilbert against this Boston team at home hasn't really pitched fantastic. I mean, it's been okay, but at home against Boston, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. And then in 2021, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. I just think that the Boston Red Sox are really, really undervalued right now when Bello and Cutter Crawford are on the mound, personally. I think those are the only 2 people. And I actually, now that after what Nick Pivetta did, I'm actually starting to buy into this Boston team a little bit because I understand that Boston lost last night, but Nick Pivetta looked very, very good last night. I'm not really sure if I trust this Seattle lineup. We saw them obviously last night not look very good. I think Cutter Crawford is a little bit better than Nick Pivetta. And I understand that Boston didn't score yesterday either, but I do think that George Kirby's much better than Logan Gilbert. And so, yeah.
I don't know about that.
I do. So at a big plus price, I have no problem taking Boston right now.
That takes a lot for Toasty to say because he's the biggest Logan Gilbert guy I know. I for some reason I've been dead against Logan Gilbert.
I'm on board with the hey, maybe the Mariners bats are dead, but I don't know. Cutter Crawford.
They looked terrible last night.
I'm gonna also take the Red Sox here. I'm in complete agreement with Toast. I love Cutter Crawford. I think this kid's excellent, and what he showed at the end of last season was incredible. If you're just looking at Cutter Crawford's career as a starter, he's a beast on the road. 3.87 ERA, 2.95 WOBA. The whip's at just 1.1. He's got the strikeout stuff, and we saw the Mariners whiffing away yesterday at all of Nick Pavetta's stuff. I think Crawford has even better strikeout stuff, to be honest. I'm going to be definitely looking at that K prop today at 5.5. But mainly what it is, I also saw in terms of history. Do you want to know how the current Mariners lineup has done against Cutter Crawford? They have 27 at-bats. They have one hit. One hit. They have 10 Ks in 27 at-bats. So we're getting that at plus money. We're getting that, a man who owns this lineup, and a lineup that, as you said, Kyle, I was saying, you're taking too much from game one. Well, we now have 2 games, and that Mariners lineup looks dead as dirt. They don't look like they could do jack shit. So I'm going to take the plus money with the Sox here. The short dogs bark more often, Kyle, right?
True.
Not
small dogs bark more often.
Munoz and Stanek, I would assume, aren't available because they went 17 and 20 pitches respectively. I have a hard time they go back-to-back heavy relief. So
the Red Sox high leverage times.
I just think the starting pitching advantage is heavily Seattle here. I'm not going to lay minus 50.
No, yes. Not heavily. I think Logan Gilbert slightly.
You know what I would do here? Here I would go on this one. Give me this. Where is it? Where's my under? Where's my under graphic? Where is it? I can't find it. I can't find my under graphic, but I would go under here.
At 7.5, juice to minus 120.
Yeah, but I'm not betting it. Our poll slightly leaning towards Seattle. Minus 155 to. I'm sorry, 49%, 40% favor of Seattle. So poll slightly leaning towards Seattle. I know we've been on for a while, so let's do a community parlay real quick and call it.
Whew. The after stream naps hit different. I took a mean one yesterday.
The after stream naps. Man, I got back-to-back streams right after this.
Oh, well, actually, yeah, I got to make you NBA graphics, so the nap has to wait.
There's only 3 games. It'll take you 2 minutes. All right, first, so you guys voted for Tigers, White Sox. That game starts in 1 minute, so we'll skip that one. You definitely voted for Orioles. Braves, Phillies. You guys voted for Braves. Guardians, Athletics. You definitely voted for Guardians. Blue Jays, Rays. You guys voted for Rays. All right, first leg of the community parlay. Cast your votes.
I will say if the Mets lose, my season win total under 80.5 is going to look even better.
Well, I mean, that was free. The team sucks, but that's
Kyle thought I was an idiot.
That's going over, bro. I'm telling you, this is a different Mets
team.
Is it
opposite then? Yeah,
no,
it's different. They're ass.
Every single year, the Mets are like awesome in April and May into June. And every single year, everyone gets so hyped, and then they fold at the end. This is the first year where Mets fans are not big on the team. So actually, this is the first year where I personally think that they're going to exceed expectations. Their lineup's still loaded. I bet you the Mets just hang around July, stay in it right somewhere in the wild card race, and then we make a splash from the trade deadline.
No, I don't think the Mets fans were excited about the season from 2005 to 2013, and we sucked then too.
If you're lying,
if
you tell me the Mets fans haven't been excited about the season the last 2 years, you're just lying to yourself. Because yes, they have.
No, the last 2 years, absolutely, but you're using very small sample size here for your argument.
If the Mets start out slow, they will trade Pete Alonso. Mark my words.
That would really hurt.
Orioles money line is the first leg,
especially if you're David Stearns and you can sign him in the offseason. There's no reason to keep him.
Okay, we got.
Should I do this?
I could get down with an Aroldis Chapman-esque thing where we trade him and sign him in the offseason.
Twins money line.
I mean, it's been talked about. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they traded Pete Alonso.
Pirates are now favored.
I feel like Pete Alonso's type of guy, though, to be like, oh, you traded me? I'm not signing back with you scumbags. It's like, no, Pete, you don't understand.
I don't think
he wanted you to win
during the home run derby. He went to deadlifts during
that
the thing.
That was the craziest
shit I've ever seen.
The commercials, the windshield commercials are just fantastic. or whatever those are.
In between
yeah,
his turn,
those are classic.
in between his turns, he was walking into the locker room and doing deadlifts by himself. Like, bro, this is supposed to be a fun event. We're all like hanging out. What are you doing?
Family, there's
We're all
kids in the
hanging out,
field.
videos,
Fucking
kids,
freak,
just
man.
smelling salts.
Yeah, like, dude, it's supposed to be like we're having fun. It's supposed to be like a fun thing. What's wrong with you? 55% say, yo, seriously, on that day, I was like, I'll never support Pete Alonso again. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
That was a tough day in the group chat. Repeated bullying. Yeah.
Yo.
They're like, dude, your store's a loser. I'm like, I have no argument.
Yeah, you're spot on with that.
Francisco Alvarez just hit a bomb, 3-1. We'll take.
No, it's over though.
Oh my god.
You heard?
Why don't they
you
have
heard the
him in
guys. That game's
middle
over.
spot? That would have been a grand slam.
Only God knows.
All right, third leg
You know
of
what
the
it
community
is.
parlay. Cast your votes. Cast your
Mets
votes.
don't have first base coach Kirby anymore. They fired his ass.
Oh my God, Toast, you're right. I've always said the first base and the third base coaches. That's more important than getting a guy like.
I think we were on
Oh
this
my
last
God!
season,
No,
too,
we're
trying
not
to get
doing
people
that.
on there.
We're not doing.
Yeah, why acquire a guy who's got
Tiger's already scored
150 WRC plus when you could just get Kirby at first?
Well, Tiger scored already.
Oh, Tigers.
Torkelson RBI single.
Yeah. Well, Parker Meadows.
Hit a triple. Yeah.
Torkelson RBI single. What about what I said was wrong?
No,
yeah,
I was
so
just
the
giving Parker Meadows some
Kagame
flowers,
suck.
too.
The Kagame may stink.
No, don't tell that to Braves fans.
No, he had a someone said Torco yard. No, RBI single. The guy before him tripled. Oh, prop beaver.
No.
Arizona's in the community parlay.
Oh, fuck yes.
So-
Okay, cool.
Oh, you think that helps your Rockies,
I
man?
think that helps, huh?
That was just
Right.
sheer
Okay.
disrespect to the community. What you just did.
I mean, I'm sorry, but guys, have we seen the hit rate of the community parlay?
What do you mean? It's excellent. It's one of the most accurate betting tools out there. One of the most accurate betting tools on YouTube is the.
It is one of the most profitable bets you can make. The community parlay.
I'm pretty sure this show has a history of plus EV parlay bets that you can't be found anywhere else.
Yes.
That's what
Big
we're.
EV
That's
guy.
what we're branded.
So good luck finding that somewhere else, guys.
All right, what's the last leg of this community parlay? I need to prepare for the NBA show.
There's no way it's not the Dodgers. Dodgers are going to be in this shit every single
Dude, a lot of
day,
people
and
like
I don't blame
Cleveland.
people.
Cleveland's playing Oakland, and a lot of people like that.
No.
No.
No, I mean, dude,
No.
it's never not going to be the Dodgers winning the ball. I don't blame people. I mean, come on. It's a weapon of mass destruction here. But I think at least one of the Rockies or the Cardinals got to win if we got those two puppies in the community parlay.
Somebody just sent me a DM and said, "How can you trust a guy in Yamamoto who has a 45 ERA?" I said, "Well, that math
Oh
will
my
get you every
God.
time.
That's
It'll get you every time."
It's Dodgers, by the way.
That's a bit nuts.
Dodgers.
So it's the Dodgers plus 466.
Okay, community parlay today. Orioles, Reds, D-backs, Dodgers plus 466. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm down to do a Sunday show tomorrow, but I know you guys like to enjoy your Sunday.
I'm going to be at the Mets game. So,
all right. So
yeah.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
Toast, would you want to do it if I asked?
I'm down. I'm always down to
So
talk baseball
I'll go.
with you.
I'll hit some DMs and see if we can get a third guest. Modai doesn't do weekends though. I'll see if I can get us a third guest for Sunday. Oh, it's Easter. I can't even do a live
Yeah.
show tomorrow. I got
Yeah.
the Easter breakfast with the family.
All right, I'll do it by myself.
Yeah, so we'll just
you
post.
guys-
We'll post bets on the website for tomorrow. I'll be back in 45 minutes for NBA with Chris B. Cappin. See you guys then.